Dear brothers and sisters, we extend you a warm welcome to our Watchtower study for this week, September 22nd to 28th, 2025. Study article number 29 entitled, How to Give Advice. I'll give you advice with my eye upon you. Psalm 32, verse 8. Focus. How to give effective advice. Paragraph 1 question, who needs to give advice? Explain. And the answer is everyone. All we need to give advice in a certain moment of our lives. All of us are obliged to provide advice from time to time to a workmate, friend, a relative, etc., even a brother in the congregation. And this is a demonstration of love, as we read in John 13:35. And is one way we prove our love is giving advice and counsel, of course. We could get new friends and even some new enemies because we give some advice. Number 2, what must elders be able to do and why? Elders need to be able to give advice effectively. This is very important because Jehovah, through Jesus, has assigned these men to shepherd the congregation. As we read at 1 Peter 5:2-3, they're shepherding the sheep, the flock, God's sheep. And this is very important. They are not cows. They're not bulls. They're sheep. So once they got this point, they do their best shepherding the flock properly, with love, giving effectively advice. Very important point. They do their best, and sometimes they give talks, public talks, and they're giving some advice through it. But sometimes it's a different method, and they're giving advice to individual sheep, including those who have strayed from the flock. Number 3, question A. How can we learn to be a good counselor? We learn through Jesus, and that's a prophecy. That's why the Bible calls Jesus Wonderful Counselor in Isaiah 9:6. So, and of course, there are good brothers and good sisters, and they're good example giving advice, and we might learn their tips to improve our ability, our skill of giving advice. What will we discuss in this article? Question B. We'll discuss what we can do when we are asked to give advice and what we can do when we have to give counsel without being asked. We'll also consider the importance of giving advice at the right time in the right way. Okay, let's move to the next one, when we're asked to give advice. Paragraph 4 and 5. When someone asks us for advice, what question should we first ask ourselves? Give an example. And the question is, am I qualified to give advice in this area? Very important question. Because sometimes we're not. And if we're not, the best thing we can do is directing the person to someone who is qualified to provide guidance on that subject. And let's suppose that a close friend develops a serious medical condition. He tells us he has started researching the treatment options that are available to him. Then he asks us to give our opinion about the treatment, and we feel better, and we have no idea about it. We're not a doctor. So the best thing we can do is to assist him in finding someone who's qualified to help him. Okay, now let's move to paragraph 6. Why may we choose to wait before we give advice. That's what the Bible encourages us to do in Proverbs 15:28, that the righteous one meditates before answering. And of course, meditating before answering, the person who's asking advice is expecting an immediate answer, an immediate reaction, an immediate advice. Sometimes there's no time to waste. So we might still take some time to do research, to pray, and to meditate. Then we can be more confident that our answer is in harmony with Jehovah's feelings on the matter. Let's discuss a biblical example of this matter. Paragraph 7. What do you learn from the prophet Nathan's example? And King David said to Nathan, the prophet, he wanted to build a temple to Jehovah. Nathan thought that was a very nice idea, and he immediately advised him to do it. But Nathan didn't ask Jehovah. And that's the thing, because Jehovah didn't want David to build a temple. He had a different plan. As this incident shows, when we're asked to give advice, we are wise to be slow to speak. Slow to speak. But we recognize our nature is quick to speak. Okay. Paragraph 8. What is another reason why we should be careful when giving advice? This is a serious matter because we could share responsibility if our counsel causes someone to make a decision that brings negative consequences. It's a serious matter. So we have good reason to be carefully before giving advice. Now, giving counsel without being asked. And we have in mind the principle at Galatians 6:1 about a false step. Paragraph 9 question. Before giving counsel, of what must elders be sure? This is a very important point. They first need to make sure that the person has really taken a false step. They need to make sure that's not a false accusation, a rumor, gossip. They have the evidence. They're certain that the person has really taken a false step. Very important point. They're not infallible, so they must be careful about this matter. And on the other hand, they must be sure that this is not a conscience matter. They don't want to be dogmatic, imposing their opinion as inspired truths. They respect the conscience of every brother and sister in the congregation. So they respect conscience matters and, of course, serious mistakes. 10 to 12. When giving unsolicited counsel, what should elders do? Illustrate. And the elders must be careful because they need to be aware that the person may be offended. So they should first of all prepare the person to receive the counsel. And there is an interesting example about a farmer. He starts sowing, he tills the soil, this softens the ground and prepares it to receive the seed. So preparation is the key, is very essential. Finally, he waters the seed to help it grow. And in a similar way, before an elder gives advice, he does well to prepare the ground, so to speak, the heart of the person. He'll try to find a right or proper time to talk, and the reputation of the elder of being loving and kind, it'll be easier for others to accept his advice. The elder can continue soften the ground by acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes and needs counsel from time to time in a calm way. In deep respect, the elder shows him the scriptures of how he has taken a false step and way to go. 13. How can elders make sure that the person understands the counsel? And this is through right questions. So they can drive the key points home by respectfully asking tactful questions. What's his opinion of this Bible principle? Does he get the point about the importance of this Bible principle? How he thinks to apply this principle or advice? Does he need any help of us to apply this advice? Very effective questions to make him think. Giving advice at the right time and in the right way. Paragraph 14. Should we give advice when we're angry? Explain. And the answer is not. We don't recommend give advice if we're angry. Even in our family, even in the congregation, even in our workplace, we must be careful when we're angry. Like a volcano, we're likely to do more harm than good. This doesn't mean that we should never express our thoughts and feelings to one who anger us. However, the best moment, and this is more effectively if we wait, the moment will come. Okay, giving unsolicited counsel takes love and skill. 15. What do we learn from Elihu's example? Very interesting point. He was spending days listening to Job defend himself from the accusations of his false comforters. So he waited his turn to speak, and in a respectful way, of course. And this teaches us that advice is best given at the right time and in the right way with respect and love. Continue to give and to accept advice. 16. What lesson do you learn from Psalm 32, verse 8? And this indicates that Jehovah not only gives advice but also helps us to apply it. So it's a good example for us, because when we give, we have the opportunity of giving advice to others. May we imitate Jehovah by keeping our eye upon them and providing whatever support we can to help them succeed. Paragraph 17. When elders give specific Bible-based advice, what do they prove to be? They're gifts from Jehovah, like streams of water in a waterless land. There is no doubt of it. So, friends who know what we want to hear but tells us what we need to hear give us a gift as valuable as apples of gold in silver carvings. And there is no doubt there are elders with these qualities. And we appreciate their work and we respect them, of course. Dear brothers and sisters, that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for joining us in this consideration, in this discussion of the study for this week. We hope you have a wonderful day and hope to see you in our next video. Bye for now.